Hi guys, it's Mrs. Mills. Welcome to your lesson for Thursday, March 26th. That's lesson 7. So let's take a look at what we're going to be doing today. Lesson 7, our objective is I can distinguish between primary and secondary sources, and I can cite evidence that supports an analysis. I can also determine the meaning of words and phrases within a source, including domain-specific words related to the civil rights movement. We are working on Common Core State Standards RH 8.1 and RH 8.4. Our essential question today is, why did Emmett Till's murder spark people to take action on civil rights? And our journal question, which I'm hoping you have already answered before you watched our mini lesson today, which is what this is, was you've been reading about the Little Rock Nine and other teens, such as Linda Brown in Brown versus Board of Ed. Why do you think they wanted to be involved in pursuing civil rights? If you were in their place, would you have taken those risks? Very much look forward to hearing what you have to say about that. Our agenda today, the do now, which is done, the mini lesson, you're looking at it. And then there is a second part to today's mini lesson, which will be, again, a presentation on background information about Emmett Till. Then you have some independent work, including making an identity chart and another bit of independent work, which is watching a short video about 5 minutes and answering questions about that. And then your exit ticket, as always. So, in terms of identity, identity is what makes us us. And the reason we're looking at identity right now is to figure out what we know about the people we're learning about. How are they similar to, and how are they different from us? You guys are already very familiar with questions around identity and the things that make up a person's identity from the work that we had done during the Holocaust and World War II unit, and also from the work that you did in Miss C's class around identity, making your identity boxes, for example, and filling them with things that represent who you are. But in order to look at someone's identity, sometimes it's helpful to make a chart or graph. So this is an example of one such graph. This is a little starburst graph of sorts for somebody named Jeremy. Jeremy has a bunch of information about him and what makes him him. So he's a college student, American. He would call himself reserved. He's a fraternity member, an urban studies major. He's Catholic. He happens to be a brother. He's male. A bunch of these things that you can certainly see. Here's another example of a similar one with a few less things on it. This fellow Jack sees himself as a teacher, a poet, a father and grandfather who happens to be Jewish as well. So those are just an example of some of the things that can be on your identity charts that you're making. But in this case, we're going to look at the life of Emmett Till. We're going to read some background information on Emmett, and then you're going to use that to fill in a chart for Emmett. So all of those boxes will then be filled by the things you know about Emmett, which will help us get a better sense of exactly who Emmett Till was and be able to really get a better sense of how Emmett relates or doesn't to our own experiences. So right now you can, as we leave this video, you can click over to part 2 where we're going to read the background information. And then after you do that, your first bit of independent work today is going to be filling in a starburst chart just like this one for Emmett Till using the background information from the article that we're about to look at. All right, thanks so much, and I will talk to you in the next lesson.